Hello, everyone. I am Sara Weiss of Passion and Pickleball. Welcome to the Spanglish World Networks on Zingo TV channels 249, 250, and 251. You can download the Zingo TV app on iOS and Android devices, and don't forget to rate and leave a comment. This app is free and also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Fire TV sticks, Roku, and Roku sticks. Also on all smart TVs 2016 and beyond. Hello! Here is my first episode of Passion and Pickleball. So, what we're going to do in this TV show is we're going to bring you all the up-to-date news and insights on what's going on in pickleball. For those of you who don't know what pickleball is, it is sweeping the nation. You have to get involved, get informed, and pick up a paddle. We're also going to be interviewing a lot of top players, a lot of people who are big in the industry, as well as people outside of pickleball who've taken their passion for life and turned it into massive success. So without further ado, I want you guys to get to know me and answer the question of why Sara Weiss? Why is Sara Weiss doing this show? Well, I just started playing pickleball 2.5 years ago, but I have a bit of a backstory before that. So when I was a kid, I grew up in kind of a low-income household with a mother who loved me and a more kind of abusive boyfriend of hers for a little while. And I got this kind of chip on my shoulder to never, ever be dependent on a man. And in doing that, or in experiencing that, I became an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur all my life, and I've always wanted to impact the world in a positive way. So I like to sell products that impact people. I like to give services that impact people. So I grew up trying to learn the ins and outs of business, which led me to giving me an opportunity to be a life coach. And I loved it. I loved coaching people. I've been doing it for many years, and I've taught a lot of people a lot of things. But what happened with me was I was giving. And being a serial entrepreneur, I wanted to create something special, something unique. And in doing that, I created a program that didn't go so well. I had to look into development and apps and websites and all this stuff. And being my first time in a big time thing, investing tons and tons of money into this, it didn't go so well. So I actually backed off, and I burnt out. I was coaching all the time. I'm a single mother of 2 at this point, and I'm still a mother of 2 full time, and they weren't getting much of my attention. So what happened was I'm on Zoom all day long, coaching, helping people create success in their business, their happiness, just their mental states and relationships. But mine was starting to fall apart. My family was missing me, and I was giving from an empty cup at this point. So what happened to me was I was watching Netflix one day, and I'm sitting on the couch, and about 15 minutes into watching Netflix and relaxing, I got the typical anxiety of, I need to be productive. What am I doing sitting watching TV? I should be doing stuff and getting clients and helping people and creating content and doing videos. And this was normal for me. But 15 minutes into watching Netflix, I'm like, I'm not ready to stop relaxing right now. I am burnt out. So in my mind, I'm like, this is not the way to live at age 33 or 32, where I was at that time. It wasn't right. This is not how I wanted to live. And I decided to pray, to ask something to show up that gave me fun in my life, injected some fun, and took me out of living on Zoom, living the digital life, giving to others. And don't get me wrong, I love giving to others. I continue to coach, but what happened was miraculous. I asked for something fun to show up in my life, and pickleball showed up about 2 months later. I found out about pickleball. I started to play it, and keep this in mind. I don't come from a sports background. The last sport I played was middle school volleyball. So I pick up this weird paddle, and I hit this weird wiffle ball over a net, and I started to fall in love. And here's how it happened. A friend of mine actually took me to a court who was going to teach me how to play tennis. We went to this little public court, and the court looked different than a tennis court. So for those of you who have played tennis or know what pickleball are, they're 2 different tennis courts. They're 2 different courts, different lines, different sizes. Anyways, I'm there, and this guy's like, I don't think this is a tennis court. I'm like, okay, what is it? He's like, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it can't be tennis. And I have no idea. So he starts hitting me the ball and he's just kind of frustrated. He's like, this isn't right. It's too small. Something's not right. So we found this board where you would hang up your racket or your paddle to say, hey, I'm next. And on that was a picture of a paddle. So we went home and we're like, what is this? And we found out about pickleball. We looked up all the top players and we found out about this 14-year-old girl who was just kicking everyone's butt. She was like one of the top champions. She's 14 years old. We found out about Ben Johns, who is like the leader and top pickleball player in the world, Simone Jardim, and all these other incredible players. And I started to watch videos. I started to play this game. We got some cheap paddles and I was like instantly hooked. Now, when I would play with this guy, he would kick my butt around the court and it became like almost not fun. I'm like, this is not fun. Why don't you actually give me a chance here? Because he would just keep hitting it by me. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't even have a chance to hit the ball because I'm not fast enough and I'm not good at this. I'm not from sports. So he decided to go easy on me. He's like, okay, Sarah, here you go. And he was hitting me nice, gentle shots. And then I got to start to play this game. I was like, this is really fun. This is really cool. And I got this desire to get better at it. And it wasn't long before I realized that this is what I wanted to do with my life. I love this game. I am fiercely passionate about it to a point where I could cry. It's so fun. So if you don't play pickleball, find out about it, pick up a paddle and hit that stupid wiffle ball over the net and see what it does to your life. I realized that this is something that would make me have fun and enjoy my life to a whole other degree. So I stayed coaching, but I stopped picking up clients. I stopped building content. I stopped trying to develop this app. I stopped putting my heart and soul into something that was hurting. And I started to just play a game, a simple game, hitting a ball over a net with a partner. We started to play with other people. So it started off with just me and him playing, and then we got invited into groups and we started to play doubles. And it was just so much fun. We got welcomed into this group. They were all very happy to see us. And honestly, the stereotype for this is it's for retired people. Well, it was a retired group that invited us in. We're like, okay, let's go kick these people's butts, the Dorises and the Barbaras and the Pauls. And we're playing this game and, we're doing all right. We're doing pretty good. I'm like, okay, I actually have some skills at this. I can hang, I can get that ball over the net. And, we're giving them decent shots, decent games. And then eventually we're like, hey, we should step this up. Like we should get some actual paddles. Like let's spend some money on this. Like let's invest. Let's go to some country clubs. Like let's do this. Let's go all in on pickleball. And we did. We looked up a local club called Valley Stream, and we went there and we started getting our butts handed to us. And nothing is more motivating than when Doris is slamming your butt. Yeah, we were getting our butts kicked like crazy, and it motivated me at least, and as well him, I'm sure, to get better and better and better. The rest is kind of history. My history is a little crazy though. I'm a little unique in the sense that I was born a different gender. Now, for me, I don't come from sports. I don't really know much about tournaments. I don't know much about the sporting world. It took me forever to learn what a round robin meant, right? So I started playing and I was like, meeting people, and this is so socially fun. Like you connect and meet so many awesome people on and off the court that all of a sudden, you've got this big, massive pickleball network and you start to want to like do tournaments and do events and leagues and ladders and all this stuff. Well, there was an opportunity to play in a tournament and to do women's doubles and mixed doubles. And we went at the lowest category, lowest tier. It's a 3.0. And I had the time of my life. Women's doubles and mixed doubles. I didn't do singles, and I still don't to this day. Singles isn't really my jam, but I played doubles. And my women's doubles partner, I have a picture of us, and one day I'm going to show you guys. We are hugging each other with our legs wrapped around each other. We were so happy. It was both of our first tournaments. We won a gold medal. It was my first ever medal, and we just had the time of our lives. Something that I did is, when you're in sports, emotions happen. You can get frustrated, and, the mind games and everything. And if my partner got frustrated, I would look at her and I'd go, hola, mwah. And I would just blow her a kiss. And it was just something that was so fun to me that from that day on, I was committed to a point where I decided what if I could, go pro at this? I mean, is there any chance at all that I could, become a pro athlete? That's what this sport did to me. I don't even care about sports. I live in Canada and I don't care about hockey. I live 15 minutes walk away from where the Ottawa Senators play, and I never go. It's just sports never did it for me, but there's something magical about pickleball, about the people, about the joy, the laughs, the feeling that, hey, I feel like an athlete. It's really, really neat. So from that day on, I had this decision that this was going to be my life. And in doing that, I mean, this is still a fairly new sport. The average age is starting to come lower and lower. Right now, the average age of a player is 35. I'm 35. And the biggest tournament I've ever been to had 40,000 spectators with 3,000 registered players. That's the US Open in Naples. And I have a great story about that I'm going to tell you. But it's getting big and it's in its infancy, and it just gets more and more exciting. It's evolving really, really quickly, and anybody can play it. The other day, I was playing with a lady who's 89 years old, and she is in full happy spirits, hitting that ball incredibly well. I mean, she's not the most mobile human being at the moment, but she's amazing. She's a great soul, and she's really fun to play with, and she's having the time of her life. That's what pickleball does. It saves lives. It changes lives. So this is 2.5 years ago that I started. And, I made this decision. I'm going to take pickleball serious. I'm going to actually I want my life to be here. And, even the pros don't make millions of dollars. It's not like Wimbledon. This is not like tennis yet. It's getting there pretty quickly. But me knowing what, am I going to make money as a player? Probably not. I mean, even if I go pro, I'd have to be one of the top pros to make money that keeps me, afloat, right? I'm making good money life coaching, but I'm stressing out about it. So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should actually start to become like a pickleball entrepreneur. Maybe I can sell paddles. Maybe I can, get into apparel, get into products and services and coach, take my life coaching skills, my mindset and high performance skills into a sport. I was really excited about this thought. It really lit something up inside of me because I'm surrounded by people who are as passionate as I am about this. And if I could give any impact and any value from what I've learned my whole life, I've literally invested $250,000 plus into my personal development between my own coaches, my own high performance life coaches, and high level events. From Tony Robbins and other massive big speakers and stuff, and all the courses and classes and things that I've done to get my psychology at a pretty high level, and now take that into pickleball. So I got really excited about the idea that maybe I could be a sports coach. Well, today I'm a level 2 certified pickleball coach, and I am very busy coaching. So that's where I'm at now. Actually, something amazing just happened 2 weekends ago with my boyfriend. Me and JJ Jansen went to the National Indoor Championships in New Jersey, and we won our first bronze in a pro and 5-0 mixed division. Yeah! We did it! We worked so hard for it. We spent 3 months playing nonstop, drilling nonstop, hitting at each other nonstop. Sometimes I just stand at the net and he just fires them at me, and he's a hard hitter. He just drive, and I just stand there and try and survive to a point where now I'm very comfortable there, and I'm like attacking those balls back. So that was really helpful. But yes, that's where I'm at now. So I'm coaching pickleball. I got my first, I guess, pro medal from the States. And again, I'm in Canada. It's a little different of a scene here. And I've also done a lot of entrepreneurship here. So about 3 months into playing pickleball, I started to post in the pickleball forum and show my passion. This is something that you might want to take note of. I showed the world my passion for pickleball very publicly. And a company reached out to me and asked if I would take a sponsorship from them. I could not believe it. 33 years old, mother of 2, I became a sponsored athlete. They sent me free equipment, free paddles and bags and stuff like that. And about 6 to 8 months later, they asked me to be their team director. And I started to direct the whole team of athletes and ambassadors, creating new programs, giving them ways to be more involved and more in a community for this company. Well, I took that. I started to sell paddles. I started to coach people, and I started to make pickleball my living. I now have only one life coaching client, and all the rest are pickleball coaching clients. So I'm very happy about that because I love this life. I love this pickleball life. Now, here's where things got crazy for Sara Weiss. I went to the US Open, which was this past April. April 19th was the day that things got crazy. I was there playing mixed doubles with a gentleman from Florida who invited me to play at that tournament because he met me when I was down there. And I was playing pickleball with a bunch of YouTube influencers who invited me to go there because I reach out, I talk to everybody. And this guy meets me. He's like, "Oh my God, you're really good. Where are you from?" And I said, "Canada." He said, "I'm going to get you down for some tournaments." So he invited me down to a tournament in Daytona Beach where we played together. I didn't play women's doubles because I didn't know anyone there. And then I went down for this US Open. And I did have a women's doubles partner for this and a mixed double. So him and I were to team up and play. Well, 3 days there, 2 or 3 days there, where I met JJ, my boyfriend, a Twitter movement exposed me. And, opinions aside, politics aside, have whatever opinion you want about this. I'm not here to get into science and politics. I'm just here to let you get to know me and share my perspective with you. So have whatever opinion you want. Be respectful would be all I ask. But here's what happened. The Twitter group called Icons Women blasted 5 Twitter posts that went kind of viral about me, bashing me for playing in women's divisions, saying I'm taking opportunities away from people. And it kickstarted and stirred up a lot of nasty, nasty comments, really mean things. Luckily, with my experience of being a life coach, I looked at this and was like, interesting. And I'm not going to lie, it hurt. It definitely hurt. And there was a point where I was crying, like, I can't believe this. Something I love so amazingly and passionately and dearly is now turning into this culture war where I'm at the center and I'm being attacked and, just the discrimination and stuff. And here's what's the thing about me is I never really told people about this. There were so many people in my life who didn't even know that I grew up a different gender. So many people. So when this happened, there was a lot of people who reached out and said, I had no idea. I'm like, of course, because I don't talk about it. I don't go and I'm not public about it. I'm not ashamed of it either. But this is what happened. And I got kind of scared to go to this tournament. I've never ever experienced anything negative at a tournament or in person or anything. No one ever like confronts me and says, something's up, something's not right. Never happens. Doesn't happen. But this happened online and the keyboard warriors went nuts. And I started reading these comments and it was the worst decision. I shouldn't have read them. I knew it. I'm like, if I read these, it could be emotional. I got a little emotional. I was a little messed up over it. And what happened next was I decided I wanted to go home. I wanted to run and hide. My now boyfriend, who was there for me, he didn't let me. He didn't let me hide. He said, you should get out there. You should show up. And that's my thing. I teach people to just show up. Whether you're afraid or freaked out or not, you just show up. To me, I was thinking this could be dangerous. What if people like confront me and cause violence? Who knows what can happen? I mean, especially now, Florida is a little crazy, right? But anyways, I end up showing up, and if you meet me at a tournament, anyone who has ever met me at a tournament knows me because I'm like, hi, everybody. Hi. I'm so excited. I've never experienced anything like this. I'm like a puppy dog. I'm like, oh my God, it's so fun. And I'm cheering for everyone. I'm like the loudest cheerleader and I get to know everybody. I give hugs and I take pictures. And I'm like, I just love it so much. And even at this tournament in Florida, very far from home in Ottawa, I knew everybody there from Facebook, from other tournaments. And just like every 5 seconds, it'd be like, hey, how's it going? Hey. Well, this day after the 19th, I went there and I had my head down and I just watched my feet and I was scared. I was really freaked out and I was on edge. A friend of mine saw me and I kind of was just like hesitant and looking down and she's like, hey, what's going on with you? Like instantly knew. She pulled me aside and she's like, what's happening? And she's like told her friend, her partner, she's like, just give me a minute. She's like, what's going on? Are you okay? And I broke down. I broke down in front of her and she's like, oh my God, I've never seen you like this before. And it freaked me out. But here's what happened. She gave me a little pep talk. MJ, I'll never forget that pep talk. And it pumped me up and I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm here. And I went there And I walked through this massive, massive tournament, and people were coming up to me to take pictures with me, to say, we got your back. We saw what's going on. We have your back. Companies were reaching out to me. Nothing negative happened. That was all the digital world, and in my mind, all the fear that I had in my mind never came true. But my mixed doubles partner, who had already played a tournament with me and who I had stayed at his house for a previous tournament, backed out of being my partner. So what a roller coaster it was. He backed out, but here's what happened. Because I'm on Facebook, and you can find me on Facebook, Sara Weiss, I had people stepping up, and they're like, we'll play with you. I'll play with you. I'll play with you. So luckily, I went up to the tournament director because it was the day I was supposed to play, and I said, my partner backed out. Is there any chance that I can take on a new partner? And the lady asked what my name was. I said, Sara Weiss, and she's like, I know who you are, and I know what you're dealing with. We're going to get you set up. I'm emotional. She's like, we're going to get you set up. And I had a new friend, a Facebook friend, who stepped up, and they let us play together, and we had a blast. It was amazing. Didn't win any medals, but we had a blast. Same with my women's doubles partner. We didn't win any medals at this tournament, but we just had so much fun, and I met so many new friends. There were pros who were reaching out to me saying, hey, we got your back. Don't worry. Stand up for who you are. We got you. There was a couple company owners who came up to me, found me, and said, hey, we got your back. I want to send you some free swag. Just want to show you we support you. And since that day, so many people have stepped up to say, hey, keep being you. We love who you are. And this sport needs you. So as much as I wanted to run away and hide, and I say this as your life coach, I used to be called the sass boss. When you're faced with something crazy, difficult, challenging, monumentally negative and hard, just show up. Just show up. Step 2, if you go beyond showing up, be bold. Stand up for who you are. Trust in your voice. I did that, and a lot of great people have showed up in my life since then. I can't even put into words how grateful I am for all the people who've shown up to stand behind and with me on these lines, the front lines of the battle. And I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. And a lot of people keep telling me, they're like, you got to fight for this. You got to fight for your rights. You got to fight. And I'm like, I don't want to fight. I'm not a fighter. So there's part of me, because since this has happened, it's stirred up so much controversy, and the whole LGBTQ community who've reached out and said, thank you, for standing up and for not being pushed away and kicked down by people who don't even know you. And I never wanted to be an advocate for any community in that way. But I said, you know what? After what I've seen online, especially the abuse towards anybody who is in the LGBTQ community, let alone transgender, gay, bis, it doesn't matter. The abuse is terrible. It's terrible. Unfortunately, not everyone has a life coaching background and can handle some of this stuff. Most people are just trying to exist. They just want to exist. They want to feel like, hey, maybe the world will accept me as I am, instead of as the person society wants me to portray. And this goes out to anybody, and I wrote a book, and in my book, I talk a little bit about my background and, how I got to where I am. And a lot of people reached out who aren't part of the LGBT and saying, you have helped me realize that I got to stop hiding who I really am. Remember one lady, she's like, I love Star Wars and video games and Marvel, and I'm a total geek, but none of my friends are into that. So I don't talk about it. I don't share it. I basically am not into it, but in my mind, in my soul, like, I love that stuff, and I want to talk about it, and I want to express it. So from things like that to people who have, used to have addictions, who now can't hang out with the people who have those addictions still, to say, hey, I feel like I can express myself and be who I truly am by just showing up and being bold. And I recommend to everybody, be yourself, be true to who you are. It's so much easier. It's way easier. If you want a little context on what this was like for me, I spent 26 years pretending to be what I thought society wanted me to be. Why? Because I thought it would keep me in a place where I could be accepted and loved. I didn't think if I was true to myself, I could be loved, accepted, be somebody's friend. I, in my mind, thought if I'm not what society wants me to be, I'm going to be an outcast. I'm going to be a freak. And it was hard. It's not easy to be who you truly are. It can be very difficult, especially if you've built up this persona. To break that persona and shake people's belief systems, it's tough. So for every one of you who have had to tell the world, hey, I'm actually not who you think I am, there's much more to me. I'm much more of a box of goodies that you can learn a lot from. My hypothetical hat is tipped to you because it's not easy. But I will tell you this, it's worth it. It's worth it. I spent a lot of years pretending, kind of like an actress. I was an actress, and it's exhausting. It is exhausting not being true to who you are. You know what I was always envious of? People who could just so effortlessly express themselves. All my life, it drove me nuts. I would watch my friends who were just so effortlessly able to express their needs, their desires, what makes them happy, and just express and just be free-flowing. I was always so envious of that because I couldn't. I had to pretend. I had to always read from a script, from my own mental programming to be this version of what I thought people wanted me to be. I literally had to do Google research on how to be a boy because I didn't know how to. And I played the part well. I got to a point where I really played the part well. I even started a landscaping company to do it. And it sucked. It sucked. Not being true to who you are is harder than what you go through to break through and tell people who you truly are. And I'm telling you, that's not easy. It's not easy. So, I'm about 10 years into my whole transition. And all of a sudden, this gets kicked up not 2.5 years. Not even a year ago. Gets kicked up. I was doing just fine being normal. The first semblance of normal I've ever had in my life, playing a game I just am super passionate about and excited about. And this gets kicked up. Now, my opinions don't matter. My opinion is I am right where I belong. I belong to play with women. And there's so many reasons. I can give you these reasons, but my opinion can be argued. And I'd rather show you who I am. You can get to know me and you can judge me however you want if you want. But my opinion is based on this. The argument can be said on both sides. I'm not saying either is right or wrong. I don't know what's right or wrong. I don't determine that. But what I do say is what I've experienced. And here's what I've experienced. Many women I play against are stronger than me. Many women I play against are faster than me. Many women I play against are taller than me. So I fit right in where I belong. I can literally only do 10 push-ups, and the 10th push-up is a squeak, okay? Just for those of you who are unaware and have never had a friend like me. I used to be able to do about 70 push-ups. I'm not kidding. I used to go to the gym, and I'd work out. I can't even do 10 push-ups now. That's what happens with hormone replacement therapy. I've done the surgeries and stuff, and I was living this normal life as Sara Weiss, who I am. And this gets kicked up, and all of a sudden I have to talk about transgender stuff all of a sudden. Boom. And it became a big thing. I started doing live videos, and it had high view counts. And there's this one guy who did a video about me, and it was really nice. And we did podcasts and all these things. The video has, 130, 140,000 views with almost 5,000 comments. And I do check on those comments because there are a lot of beautiful ones, and I want to recognize anybody who sends love to me. But there's a lot of uninformed people. Here's the thing. There are 3 types of people. There are informed, uninformed, and uninformable. The uninformed people, I'd love to teach you some things, give you a little bit of information so that you can make a better, maybe not a better, more informed judgment call on what you believe is right and wrong. I'm just here to share who I am and share my perspective because there's something I'm pretty good at. It's vocalizing my perspective. I think that comes with being a woman. Anyways, I have noticed that anytime I go to a tournament, nobody accosts me. Nobody confronts me or brings up anything negative. It just doesn't happen. It never has. But online, the keyboard warriors come out. They come out, and there's a lot of opinions on this topic. Now, again, I'm not going to say whether one's right or wrong. I have my stance on where I believe I belong, and I am friends with a lot of tournament directors who I've had conversations with. That actually started some of the friendships, like the owner of the APP. Ken Herman, big shout out to you. You're amazing. I had to sit down with him, and the first thing he said, he's like, Sarah, before we even start chatting, you belong here, and you belong in the division you are in. You belong playing with the women. I had an amazing chat with him. And it's the same with Ryan Haynes of True North Pickleball here in Canada. I've had nothing but amazing experiences at both of those tournaments. Just played the USA National Indoors. Had an amazing experience. I'm always having an amazing experience at these tournaments. So I'm not stressed out and worried about the politics, at least not anymore. It was stressful for a bit, but I'll tell you this, the politics about it bores me. It bores me. Everyone wants to tell me where I belong. Where should I play? Well, everyone's got an opinion on it. I don't care. I just want to play. And people are saying, well, that's fine in rec play, but when you start to go into pro and there's money involved, guys, I have invested so much money in the sport. It is sickening. And anybody who actually takes the sport serious does the same. We're all in this position. People who become the 1%ers. And I've done some research, and I think I want to have a segment on my show called Sarah vs. AI, because I ask AI a bunch of questions and for stats and stuff like that. And one thing I was asking was, what percentage of men become pro athletes? It is extremely low. It couldn't give me a number, but it said it's barely readable. It's extremely low. I said, okay, what about women? What percentage of women? Same exact thing. Very low percentage. And I asked the same about transgender people. What percentage of transgender? And it said even lower. I would love to represent the community in a great way. If I can become this top pro athlete, it would be an amazing representation of a gender and community that is very underrepresented. But it's going to cause controversy. It's going to cause drama. And I know that. I'm ready for it. Because I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to stay. And I'm only going to get better. I play every single day. I coach at a very high level. I drill with the best. I don't just play games. I drill and 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 I drill. Becoming a pro athlete's not easy, guys. It's not easy, even in pickleball. And pickleball is not the hardest sport to pick up, but it does have a depth where you have to learn certain things. And if I'm going to give my opinion on what it takes to become a pro pickleball player, it is not speed and strength. Those are little advantages that someone might have. I don't have a huge strength advantage. I mean, I'm fairly strong. I'd say I'm on average. Speed, I'm pretty quick. Again, I think maybe just above average on speed. But here's what makes a pro pickleball player. IQ, shot selection. If you know what shot to do at the right time, you can get the point. That's really the biggest thing. So obviously, you need to learn the mechanics. You need to master certain mechanics. You need the tool belt stocked full of different shots, different decisions. Because basically, here's what a pickleball game is. It's footwork, positioning, and shot selection. So if I'm here and the ball is here, what shot do I do? Do I do a top spin roll? Do I do a backspin slice? Do I drive it? Do I drop it? Do I lob it? Do I aim for the line? Do I go down the middle? Those decisions make the pros. It is not how hard you can hit the ball. It is not how fast you can move up the court. It is being able to split step on time, be in the right position with your paddle in the right position, and choose the right reaction and response to when the ball comes to you. That's what makes a pro pickleballer. So, of course, there's going to be different arguments for different sports like powerlifting. And again, I don't think I would make a great power lifter. I can't even do 10 push-ups. I can just do 10 push-ups, excuse me. So I don't think I'd make a great power lifter or a swimmer. I get tired really quickly. That's why I don't play singles. I get exhausted after one game. So like I watch people play singles and I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't do that. So that's my opinion. And those are my experiences in this. I've played against women who, oh my God, when they serve the ball, it comes just barreling at me. And like, if I pop that ball up too high and they're jumping at me and slamming it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm doomed. I'm not the strongest one out there. I'm not the fastest one out there. I'm not the tallest one out there. I'm just really freaking passionate about it. I love it. I love it. It puts a smile on my face. So since the US Open, I have faced these mountains and I've climbed them, and I've since become a player who has medaled in a 5.0 into pro division. So with that's going to come all the controversy. But why am I still here? Why am I still pushing instead of, hiding away and cowering? Because this makes me happy. And all these people who are telling me where I belong and who I am, and that I should kill myself. It is not enough to take away the joy and happiness that this sport brings me. So I'm here to stay. I welcome any person who would love to chat with me about it and to learn and to grow and to follow along as I share just who I am. Because if you're going to watch who I am, whether you're a hater or a supporter, get to know who you're hating or supporting. My supporters are amazing. They're really amazing. There's a lot of passion. There's some of them I see them passionately stand up for me, and I'm like, ooh, glad you're on my side. But I also respect that there are other arguments to this, and there's other viewpoints and opinions and facts and whatever else you want to throw at me to justify why you think I don't belong. But I respect that you have your opinion, and if you're open to conversation, I'll always chat with you. I'll always share my experiences, and we'll go back and forth, and I'll keep an open mind as well. Something that I pride myself in is integrity. And there's a lot of people who are like, you're a cheater. You have no integrity. You should play with the men and all this stuff. And I know who I am. You do not. I play with high integrity. I'm playing where I belong. I don't feel like I have this massive advantage that people, some people define me as. Like, I have this big advantage. You think I'm like some Thor going in there and kicking everyone's butt. That's not the case, but I work really hard and I am slowly moving up the ladders. I put in the work. And sometimes I almost question, do I deserve to be here because of all the noise? And in the back of my head, yeah, I do. I belong here. I bring joy and I work hard. I play every day and I don't do it for significance. My value does not come from a little gold medal. My value is in that I exist. And that's the same for you. If there's one thing you take from this episode that you're watching, is that your value is not in your wins, not in your losses. It's not in your achievements and your accomplishments. Your value is in the fact that you exist. You are unique, you are special, and so am I. So what I'm doing lately, here's what I'm up to. I'm dating my boyfriend, JJ Jansen, who lives in the States, and I'm in Canada. He had to leave to the States the other day, and I'm very sad. So I'm trying to figure out how to get a visa so I can go work down south, because Canada can get a little stagnant. There's a difference when you go down south, like where he is. It's just blooming and hustling and bustling, and everyone wants to get better. They want new equipment, and they're growing. They're not hesitant to pay for lessons and upgraded equipment, and they want more. Here in Canada, it's a little more like people are happy where they're at. It's just not as expansive. So I want to be down south where the pickleball is expansive, where I can learn and grow and bring my kids to a more enriching experience where people actually have massive desires in the land of the free. And of course, not all of America wants me. Not all of America wants me. There's a lot of, again, this culture war that's going on that it kind of bores me. Doesn't excite me like pickleball does, but that's what's happening. So I'm trying to get myself to the States, and I did something really, really cool. Really, really cool. About a year ago, I had this idea, and I brought it up to the team that I was a team director for, which I'm not with anymore since the US Open. Their support just wasn't there. I had this idea, and I kept bringing it up and saying I could use a partner on this, and they kept getting stonewalled. Well, I had this one person who reached out, a top pro from Canada, a top pro pickleball player, who reached out during, the heat of my controversy drama and just said, "Hey, I see what you're doing. I see who you are. I'm proud of you. Keep standing up, keep showing up. The world needs you." I was like, wow, it was amazing. Again, I hear from some of these pros and I'm blown away. Well, this particular pro also owns Poach Paddles. So I just want to give you a massive shout out and thank you, Brett Forsyth, for supporting me before, during, and now as a sponsored Poach athlete. That's why I wear the Poach shirt. He sent me a bunch of equipment. When he reached out and asked me if I wanted to be one of his sponsored athletes, I was blown away. I said, "Send me some paddles. Let me try it out. I would love to be on your team because of how you've treated me." And I loved the paddles. I loved everything. And what I told him was like, "You can sponsor me under one condition. I still can sell other paddles and equipment so that I'm not biased to one brand and that I can be someone who gives everyone what they need most." And he said, "That's different, but let's do it." And since then, I brought up my idea to him, and him and I and JJ have created the Ernie Box, a subscription box where every 3 months you get a box filled to the brim with top pickleball brands and goodies. So every 3 months you get balls, grips, edge tapes. I don't know if I want to break all the surprises, but all the essentials and then some. So let me just break it down here for you for a second. Pickleball players spend a lot of money. They spend money on paddles. They spend money on apparel and cute outfits, which is my favorite part of pickleball. They spend money on the balls, the grips, the edge tapes, the water bottles, the bags, the paddle covers, all that stuff. Well, because of what we're doing, we are getting all these top brands to partner up with us and put their best equipment in the bag or in the box so that you, the customer, can get these top branded items at a much, much better price. Not only that, you get this surprise box every 3 months with a bunch of promo goodies, and you have the chances. We're going to have odds on receiving specialty items. So say 1 in 10 boxes will have a specialty promo paddle. 1 in 20 or 1 in 10 might have a hat. 1 in 20 might have a training piece of equipment. 1 in 50 might have a special paddle and a promo limited edition item. So this is really, really exciting. There's going to be some collectability to this, and it's going to be like off the charts. And we just opened it up for sales. So we're really excited. You can head to erniebox.com. That's ERNE box.com. It's not ERNIE. The guy who created the shot called the Ernie, his name is Ernie Perry. He's a friend of mine, actually. And his name is spelled ERNE. The first time I ever saw an Ernie happen, I was like, what the heck was that? If you don't know what it is, go to my YouTube channel, Heck Yeah Pickleball on YouTube, and look up my tutorial on the Ernie. I found out what it was. I did the research and I started to master this shot. I'm actually now known as one of the queen of the Ernie here in Ottawa. I love it. It's so fun. So we called it the Ernie Box, and it's very exclusive. So we're releasing 350 boxes that are going to ship early December. So you get it for Christmas, but anything beyond 350, you get put on a waiting list, and we'll hopefully make it on the next run where we launch and release more boxes. So we've got our website, but here's what's really cool. This is so awesome. Anyone who subscribes for the Ernie Box also receives access to our digital content and training, where I am going to do some coaching. So this is something that I do. I'm a public speaker and a coach. I've been paid to travel the world and do speaking. Right before nationals in Canada, I was in Regina and Saskatoon talking to the top players in the cities about mindset, how to get in and stay in the zone, how to not be distracted by your emotions and thoughts on the court. Everything I've learned as a life coach translates very well into pickleball. That's why I've achieved what I have, because this is my strength. This is my greatest strength and gift, as is yours. And I teach people how to use it properly, how to use it to your greatest potential. So as a subscriber to the Ernie Box, you will have access to my coaching, as well as all kinds of digital content like tournament preparation, PDFs, ebooks on how to go from 3.0 to 3.5 and 3.5 to 4.0, 4.0 to 4.5, videos from the other top brands that teach you how to use their equipment, top pros who teach you different mechanics. JJ is a pro in the States. Brett is a pro in Canada, as am I. And we will teach you the mechanics as well as how to think and feel on the court so that you can start winning and playing your best pickleball and reaching your potential. That's one of my favorite things about this, is actually like testing myself. Like, how good can I get? Can I hang with the best? Can I learn to do the things that I'm watching on TV, watching these pros do? Like, can I do that too? It would be so cool, right? Well, I'm pushing myself. And I think anyone who has the drive and passion for this sport with a, fair amount of hand-eye coordination could do it. You just got to train really, really hard. So it's a very exciting time for us with the Ernie Box. That's what we're up to. We are coaching. I say we because I'm talking about me and my boyfriend. We're kind of cute together. He dyed his hair blonde like 2 months ago, and everyone was calling us Barbie and Ken on the court. I wear these like cute little pickleball dresses, which I love. Shout out to Halara. Halara dresses, really nice. I got to talk to them. Maybe get sponsored by them. It'd be really cool. But yeah, our outfits, we always try and kind of match or coordinate at our tournaments. And I'll tell you this, playing pickleball with your partner, your off-court partner, not easy. Not easy. I'm very proud that him and I have worked through doing that. Because I'll tell you, when you play with strangers or friends, it's a lot more light and, easygoing. When you play with your partner, it's like a little more serious. There's like a little more tension about it, when if something goes wrong and eyes are rolled or a huff is puffed, it's like offensive. And I've had to learn how to not be offended because, he's a stronger player. No doubt about that. He hits hard and fast, and I'm like the support player. In mixed doubles, the woman is typically the support player. And as a support player who is driven and passionate, I can be almost offended if I make a mistake and there's a huff and a puff or whatever there is. So I've had to learn how to play with my boyfriend without being his girlfriend on the court and being more of a pickleball partner instead of a girlfriend, if that makes sense. I know it does because I've had to make that mental shift and stop being his girlfriend on the court and be more his pickleball partner. And it has led us to do some pretty amazing things. This last tournament that we went to, we played together. We won a 5.0 golden ticket and a bronze in pro. And we did that playing against legends. We ended up in our bronze medal match playing on center court, which was the first time I've ever experienced this. I got to look behind me and see my name on the board, and I pointed at it, like just reminding me, like, doesn't matter, win or lose here. I'm so happy, so grateful, so proud of myself. And we played against Max Filipov and Kim Kleisters. Now, I'm not a tennis girl. I never really got into sports in general. But while I was at this tournament, so many people were like, oh, have you met Kim Kleisters? She's playing pickleball now, and she's actually in this tournament. I'm like, cool, who's that? They're like, wow, you don't know who she is? Grand Slam champion master for 5 or 6 years in a row. I have no idea. Sorry. But we ended up playing her and Max, and we took them to 3, which was pretty amazing. And she's such a super cool gal. She's super cool. Max was too. It was really fun playing them. They hit hard. Oh my God. Oh my God. This woman has a cannon for an arm, and just anywhere she hits that ball, it's just coming at you so fast. So I had to be super, super prepared. So it was really, really cool. It was an amazing experience. I'm really glad I got to do that with my boyfriend. Him and I have achieved something amazing. We've been dating for 3 months, and in that 3 months, we have trained because both of us had the same goal. We still do. We have the same goal and vision in pickleball of creating it a life and a living. So we've done that. And since working really hard with him, we've learned a lot about each other in and out of the courts. And it's been really fun. And learning how to do that with your boyfriend, it's neat. It's neat because some people call the pickleball court the divorce court. It can be really hard to play with your partner. But we did it. We did, and we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to go to APP events and PPA events. We're going to do awesome things together. In this show, I'm going to interview some of these people, these top pros, these top players. and I'm going to introduce you to technologies, and I'm going to teach you things. I'm going to teach you mindset. I'm going to teach you how to play this game and how to win at this game, how to win championships, how to think like a champion. And I'm going to introduce you to all kinds of amazing people who are very passionate about what they do, whether it's pickleball or business or relationships or happiness. And I'm just so grateful and honored to be here. So big shout outs to my family who's always supported me. Big shout outs to Poach Pickleball and to Pickled Out, who's another sponsor of mine who does edge guards, and to Ernie Box and to Brett and to my boyfriend JJ and to my amazing 2 adorable daughters, Adriana and Rose, who have supported me through this as well. And they're future champions themselves. So I'm really proud of them and I'm happy to be here. And with that, I think I have to wrap up this show. It's been an hour, right? So this show can also be heard on the Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out the Spanglish World or spanglishworld.ca for all news and programming. Spanglish World. Watch it, hear it, read it, download it, live it.